we are about to begin exploring the psionic Unearthed Arcana that recently came out, starting with the Psychic Warrior. That is going to be a fighter archetype or a subclass. And we're going to use our character randomization method in order to create him or her. And I'm going to be calling on people in chat to help me generate this character through your imaginations and your dice rolls. So, to get us started, because we're rocking. Thank you, Raiders, and for all of you sticking around. So I'll tell you what, Adagio Rose, you came over in the raid here. Why don't you get us going? Can you type exclamation point 1D100 and let me know if we have a female character, a male character, or perhaps even a multi-class. 19, we have a female character. Now, because this is playtest material, I'm only going to reference the player's handbook. I want to keep the playtest to the core to find out how well it plays together. Awaz, will you please roll a D10 in chat to determine the race of the character? Stops on an 8. We have a human. Hark, will you please roll, I don't know, roll a D6. Odds, it's a standard human. Evens, it's a variant human. Evens, we have a variant human. We have a female variant human. They are medium-sized creatures. We know that we're going to be making a fighter... Whoops. Psychic Warrior. And as for the level, Bubonic One, I think you said 18 is the highest capstone of all the classes here. Let's see. Psychic Dreadnought is an 18th level. Rogue is 17. And Wizard is going to be... yeah, 14. So we're making 18th level characters. Excellent. Moving on. Bubonic One, will you give us the alignment of our character? And we'll use the balanced odd stats here. Exclamation point 1D100. 54. All right, we have a true neutral character. She is neutral. We already have our level. So now I want to determine, are we going to replace any of her ability score improvements with feats? That would add on to the one she's getting as a variant human. So let's see. Who's here that I haven't called on yet? Wolfblade. Will you please roll a percentile in chat? Exclamation point 1D100. We may not have Wolfblade with us. So I will tell you what. Kevin, will you roll a percentile instead of Blade Wolf? Stops on a 65. We're taking all ability score improvements. All right. Raz is here. Well, Raz, why don't you tell us what her background is going to be? Please roll a D20 in chat. Demon Quiller, I'll tag you next. And after FOV as well? All right. This isn't... It is 5th gen content. However, this is not the way that the player's handbook advises building a character. Raz rolls a 5. We have an entertainer. Excellent. Now, entertainers get can get up to 3. Can get up to 3 different routines that they're really good at. And so... yeah, so Stella, I randomize this as much as possible so it removes biases we may intrinsically have, and it challenges us to think outside the box with some of the characters. Stella, will you please type exclamation point 1D3? Well, we have an emote for it, Bubonic. It writes itself. All right, so we're good at 2 performances. After Fav, will you please roll? Let's see, 2d10. I'll tell you what. After Fav, type exclamation point 1d100. The 10's place will be 1d10, and the 1's place will be the other d10. It writes itself. There we go, Raz. A 9 and a 7. All right, very good. Thank you. We already know our class and our subclass. Not worried about that. Our class is Fighter from the Player's Handbook. Our subclass is this experimental playtest content from Unearthed Arcana. Now we are going to get some A-class feature here. There are 6 different fighting styles, and so. Demon Quiller, will you please type exclamation point 1d6 in chat to determine our character's fighting style? Oh, we had a whole streak of male characters last week, Tesla. Stops on a 3. We are a dueling fighting style. This is harder? Remember, though, Stella, you don't have to randomly determine this stuff. We're going through and doing it as a prompt to set the stage, and then we're going to be building the character on top of the prompt. So as you stick around for it, hopefully this will... hopefully this won't seem onerous to you. And if you have questions, you are always welcome to ask along the way. Because the way that's presented in the player's handbook, I mean, you have a blank sheet, you put down your racial information, your class information, and then your background. We approach it in a different way that serves the randomization that's going to get us to think critically. All right, now we are a human. A human. Hey, there's Diadems. 19 months, I know, Diadems. I'm sorry you missed out on the raffle, though. But still, I'm glad to have you here. In fact, Diadems, will you please type exclamation point 1D100 to help us determine how old our character is? Five. We have a child prodigy. A child prodigy. That's going to be 5 plus 1d6 years old. Refry, will you please roll a d6? Stops on a 3. So, she is 8 years old. Yes, she is a human, Stella. Man, Diadem's coming in here and just dropping a really cool bomb. We have this level 18 fighter that's only 8 years old. Yeah. So, man, what is happening that she's manifesting these immense psychic powers, huh? Well, we could call it child. I put prodigy because you would be prodigious in something if you're going to go out and be an adventurer of some variety. So that's why I refer to it as child prodigy. Oh yeah, she's like Hit Girl and Kick-Ass. Neutral. Devil Lord. Now, I doubt she's fully grown here. But you know what? Maybe she's had a bit of a growth spurt. Let's make this a D10 instead of a 2D10 modifier. Devil Lord, will you please roll a D10 in chat by typing !1D10? You think it could be subtracted? I mean, this is how I'm doing this. This is just loosey-goosey. Maybe she had a growth spurt. You know, she has a psychic manifestation. You know, she could have rolled a 1. All right, so she's 4'9". Awaz, will you please roll 1d4 in chat? !1d4. Hey, Palladion, welcome. Sorry, Devil Lord, so Stella got it, and to keep things moving, I'll call on you in a second for another roll. We rolled a 3, so we're 1 times 3 is 3, so she's 4'9" and 113 pounds. All right. Devil Lord, I'm going to need an ideal, a bond, and a flaw. So instead, can you please type !4, F-O-U, you don't type 4, the number 4, 4D6. The first 3 numbers are going to be the ideal, the bond, and the flaw. Hark, will you please give me a D8 roll for our first personality trait? Hark is giving her a personality trait of number 5. And Devil's giving us a roll of 5, 5, and 3 for our ideal, bond, and flaw. Excellent. Now, I need one more personality trait to help round her out. And, Tesla, will you please roll a D8 in chat? !1D8 for me. 2. Very good. Stella, you say you're proud of your daughter, made a Steam app developer for the week, twice for Oblivion. She's not even a teenager yet. What is a... I know Oblivion is a role-playing game. What did she do for it, though? I have not played the Elder Scrolls series, so... you know, and when it comes to modding or making thises or that's... I'm not familiar with it. And, I mean, if you want to talk about it, you can. You don't have to if you don't want to. Alrighty, so we have we have placeholders now for our character. You know, from the mists of anything as possible, we've pulled out several stars to be our constellation. However, not everyone can see the details in a constellation until someone at a planetarium uses a laser or something else to, you know, kind of draw it out. And that is what we're going to do now. We're going to take these prompts and we're going to discover our character bit by bit as we build her up. And for those of you who are new here, one of the last things that we do is put ability scores on our character. For building the character, the scores are irrelevant. It doesn't matter if it's a 15 or a 17 and whatever. We're building a character, we're not building a mechanics delivery system that has a fancy coat of paint on it. She created mods that are related to another book series she read and put it out there. Oh, cool. Tesla, you did a BMI calculator. Based on height and weight earned, the BMI is 24.5. Placing the BMI for age at the 99th percentile for girls aged 8 years. This child has obesity and may have weight-related health problems. She should be seen by a healthcare provider for further assessment. The Demon Quiller, this is absolutely the wrong channel for care-opping and min-maxing. You know, we could talk about it, but we don't... Demon Quiller? We make warlocks in this fashion with a 12 charisma at, like, level 16, and they don't take Eldritch Blast. So Tesla... she could be muscular. Stella, look, if she's undergone some kind of like psychic treatment as well, that could also have accelerated her growth in some way. No, that's who I thought you were talking about, Stella. She could have some sort of an acceleration due to this psychic gift that she's been given. Or honestly, do you want to play a character who just has a big old head? Bloop. Sure. Who knows? All about the fun. Absolutely, Demon. And if you get ideas about the character, feel free to share them here. This is not my character we're building. This is our character. That's blasphemy. Maybe she's heard that, Refry. Let's find out. All right. Unlike the player's handbook, which has you start with a race. Oh, boring. We are going to start with a background. So for all of you who are playing along at home, make sure you open up your text. Hey, class. Hey, I'm looking at you in the back. Come on. Be awake now. You got to open your textbooks. Chapter 4. We're going to entertain her. All right, I'm going to scoot this over a little bit so that I can type and read and display. Yeah, after FOV, I mean, look, if we're living in a world of magic, you know, druids stop aging as quickly. Monks kind of stop aging-ish. So we're going to have proficiency in acrobatics and performance. Acrobatics and performance. So she took dance lessons. I don't know, maybe. Let's find out what a 9 and a 7 is. She gets proficiency with a disguise kit and a type of musical instrument. Disguise kit and what kind of an instrument? You know what? We're going to take a break real quick. And let's determine this. What does she play? And for our purposes in randomly determining that, if we go to Chapter 5, which has equipment. Now, obviously, these aren't the only instruments that exist even in a D&D world, but for our purposes, this will do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so, Demon Quiller, will you please roll a D10 in chat? Exclamation point 1D10. Yeah, Stella, I appreciate the shout out. I definitely would love to earn your all's business as much as possible. I just don't have an online store set up right now. Lands on a 7, and so let's see. Bagpipes, drum, dulcimer, flute, lute, lyre, horn. She plays the horn. Doot. She's gonna get some equipment. This is a musical instrument, so she'll get a horn. She'll also get the favor of an admirer. This could be a love letter, a lock of hair, a trinket. This is, you know, maybe her parents gave her something after sending her off to school where she manifested these powers or something. And so this admirer's gift is going to be trinket number something. Raz, will you please roll a percentile in chat to help determine the trinket that she has, that she was given by someone who appreciates her routine or her efforts. A rose from Tuxedo Mask, says Awaz. Stops on a 46. All right, now I don't know what trinket number 46 is. And, you know, if you want to look ahead, you can. I'm not going to. I'm going to save it as a surprise, because we're going to find out if the story writes itself. It's always a fun little, it's a fun little prompt to discover that at the end. All right, now, her background feature is by popular demand, where she can find lodging, coin, maybe even influence if she goes to a place to perform. Now, I'm not getting into the minutia of all of this as we make our characters. However, for all of you out there who do have your player's handbooks, you're certainly welcome to read it and refresh yourselves. Now we're going to discover, that was my computer. Now we're going to discover her personality. This is why I love starting with the background. I don't care if she's a dwarf or an elf. I mean, I do, but I don't. Hey, English Mudkip, good morning to you. I want to know who she is, not as a dwarf or a tiefling or a dragonborn. I want to know who she is. How does she make decisions? You know, how can we get in the character's head? My computer, I just clicked off of my notices. Stop it. Bad. Well, Windows 10 is like, whatever. You actually owe us. Even though you bought the software, well, we're just letting you rent it. Or whatever. I want to update, and that is not an option. Do you understand? So anyway, let's discover her personality. This is going to tell us so much about our character's character, more than being a fighter, more than being a human. Alright, so her first personality trait rolled was number 5, which reads, I love a good insult. Even one directed at me. And you know what? She may be a kid, but she can take the sass, and she can sass right back. I mean, there's a classic, I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. Though, of course, I mean, if she grew up, I don't know, in like a family of traveling performers, she's probably heard more colorful language than that, even at 8. But anyway, what is her other personality trait? Number 2. Whenever I come to a new place, I collect local rumors and spread gossip. So she probably wants to talk to the other kids or even adults, and she wants to learn, she wants to learn, is there a body in the creek we can poke with a stick? You know, she learns, she learns where all the cool fun places are to hang out. She overhears adults talking who might consistently undermine her understanding. You know, because they'll talk and she'll come up and be like, oh, hey, can I have this? And they're like, yeah, now go run along. And she's just there eavesdropping, but they don't care because they look at her like, yeah, you're a kid. You don't know what we're talking about. You know, you don't know that the you know, that the mailman has a special knock. You don't know, you know, yeah, whatever. You're just a kid. And meanwhile, she's getting the juicy gossip. Yeah, it seems like she's a little busybody. Yeah, after Foff says that's a kid. All right, now what is her ideal? What is she looking for in this world? What does she hope to accomplish? Number 5. People. Pardon me. I like seeing the smiles on people's faces when I perform. That's all that matters. She wants attention. Not in a bad way. But she just likes being in the mix. She likes entertaining people. You know, maybe she just wants to be treated like a grown-up, and so she's trying. Everyone keeps calling her a kid, despite her doing acrobatics or whatever her routine is. Oh, shoot, I got to go back and look at the routines. Well, anyway, we'll get to that in a second. You know, she just wants to make people happy. Is that because she had a rough life growing up? Maybe she doesn't like traveling. Maybe she has trouble making friends. Taking a look real quick, by the way, her entertainer routine, it was rolled that she had 2, and it was number 9 and number 7. She is a storyteller and a poet. Probably why she eavesdrops on people. She listens to these. And she's probably getting recognition for writing stories or poems that are above what people think an 8-year-old should be able to write, because she's trying to understand you know, conflict and you know, people's motivations for doing good things or bad things, or what makes something good or bad. You know, asking those questions. You know, so she's a writer. She likes making up stories. And depending on the power she gets from being a psychic warrior, maybe that imagination is what is being brought to life. Little tomboy? It could be. Could be Bubonic One. Yeah, making stories off of her eavesdroppings. You're seeing a Jerry Springer host? At 8 or when she grows up, was. Now, what is her bond to this world? What invests her, and kind of by extension, what invests the player of this character into the world in which, if you're the DM, that you're going to be running? The bond that we rolled was number 5. I will do anything to prove myself superior to my hated rival. Oh, we have a rival now. And by the way, in 5th edition, this is why I love backgrounds. If you're a DM and your player hands you this, instant bond. Hello, they're invested in the world. There's a rival out there. Make an NPC about the rival. Maybe weave it a little bit into the story somehow, or at least entertain it. You'll get your, I mean, the player will end up being hooked, and of course that'll draw the character into adventure. So this would mean, like, who is her rival? What does he or she do? Is the rival an adult? Is the rival a kid her age? Is the rival an older kid? You know, is this a rival in storytelling, or is this a bully situation? Is this a rival because here we have a girl who, you know, she wants to understand the world, she wants to be an adult, but she's probably not even hit puberty yet. And so she might even have an older girl who is going through or has gone through puberty, making fun of her because she's not matured, because she's not, you know, various, you know, the things that happen in puberty. Well, I'll just leave it broad like that. But maybe she's just not, you know, look at you trying to pretend to be an adult, and, you know, you don't even, whatever, you know, you don't even have hair under your arms or something. Again, I mean, it's natural. I'm not opposed to talking about it, but if it's not immediately relevant for the character, I don't know if we need to get into too much detail. I think y'all know what I'm talking about, though. You know, so how is there a rival in this case? The rival could be what we need, what we want. The rival's a devil on the 3rd level of hell? What could be, Raz? Probably someone smarmy always putting her down, says Kevin. Demon says, I love dumping a rival in the middle of the worst possible moment. Yeah, it's hence Scary Oak, right? Yeah, imagine if the rival's a family member. A jilted sibling, or what about that parent that always pushes? No, you must do better. You must do the flip more better. But mom or dad, I'm doing, no, you must be better than this. And she doesn't understand that, you know, she hears it's for your own good or whatever else. You know, and hopefully it's not a case of actual abuse, but maybe she sees that there's just this fervent teacher or family member that wants her to be better and is pushing, but, you know, she's not getting it, right? She's a storyteller. She's not really an acrobat, even if the rest of the family are acrobats. She has some training, right? She has acrobatics that she's proficient, but maybe she's just not, you know, that's not her thing. The rest of the family's literally bending over backwards for each other, and here she is, you know, kind of, you know, writing poems and performing in a different way. I had a rival in a BattleTech game. I was the better doctor, where they were the better mech pilot. Awa says, a little bardling taking away her audience. The demon call her a soccer mom or a helicopter mom. Or a soccer helicopter mom. Rival's an older person that thinks they can run her life better than her. Well, keep all those in mind, because that could end up influencing our choices. Lastly, what is her flaw? The flaw that we rolled is number 3. A scandal prevents me from ever going home again. That kind of trouble seems to follow me around. Ah, all right. Did we run away and join the circus? Is the scandal, maybe there was, I could have been a big tragedy, a fire that might have injured or killed her family. Maybe she could have been blamed for it. Or maybe no one blamed her for it, but in that moment, she's a kid. She ran away. Is the scandal that her parents are rich nobles who've been found to embezzle, and it enraged the population such that they sent the daughter away, almost like a what the Tsar of Russia and not Thumbelina, my goodness, Anastasia. You know, where they send her away because, yeah, thank you, Bewitch. They didn't want her to get hurt in the revolt. And if anyone finds out that she's actually the princess, that could cause trouble. People might ransom her. People might want to marry her, or, you know, depending on the setting and whatever. I mean, there's other extensions from there, but you know, she could get into big trouble. It would almost be like an Arya Stark situation, if any of you are familiar with Game of Thrones. Or if not Arya, then her sister, Sansa. If that's the case, is the rival another sibling that was sent out into the world? And maybe has it better than her? You know, maybe the rival sibling has an easy life, a life not of travel or something like that, or that sibling was chosen by the circus leader, if we want to say it's a circus, or a traveling, I don't know, traveling poetry circle or something. There's so much potential, even just discussing it all. Isn't it amazing? And look at all of these ideas that are coming from a couple randomly rolled dice. Awa says a space wizard took her because he needed kids with attitude to fight a witch's monsters. Are we making the Power Rangers? Is that what all these psionics come to? Possibly. Awas. I mean, she's an entertainer. She has some skills. She has psychic powers. What if that was maybe she was abducted or recruited? The scandal could have been maybe her parents, maybe her parents were so destitute that they sold her into slavery or something else anyway. And a wizard, space or otherwise, ended up adopting her and buying her out of that. But if it ever reached home that she was sold, that would put shame on her family, even if her family the family doesn't have to be a bunch of well-known people, for doing something that would have been very immoral to do. So anyway, we have a ton of things to think about. And I would love to continue. By the way, if you have the cat butt emote, everyone, you are welcome to post cat butts in chat, as we have a beautiful tortoiseshell cat butt right now. But witchcraft, oh, that's a nice one too. So good. We know more about her. There's still some details that can, kind of coagulate or gel as we see fit. But there's so many good prompts that fit. Our character, no matter which ones we choose, our character is still going to be compelling, and all the choices have grown organically from the seed that we planted. Yes, the cat butt has blessed us. Kevin says, oh no, is she Blake, the blue Turbo Ranger replacement kid? I am not familiar, so I can't say one way or the other. Now, as for being a human, now it's time to move on. We're a human, congratulations. Now, variant humans, well, you still get 0 dark vision, a run speed of 30 feet, giving us 15 climb, 15 swim, and 0 fly. She's going to get an ability score bump, +1 to 2 different ability scores. I don't know what this is going to be. If we're intelligence, maybe intelligence and strength? Maybe intelligence and dexterity? Still, I'm going to put 1 in 2 different places to hold on to for now. We already have our size, our speed. Languages, we can speak, read, and write common and 1 other of our choice. We're going to get proficiency in a skill of our choice. Well, let's take a look at who she is again. I love a good insult, even one directed at me. Whenever I come to a new place, I collect local rumors and spread gossip. That would probably be a perception if she wants to sneak around and try and overhear secrets and rumors. I'll do anything to prove myself superior to my hated rival. That could be performance still. Insight, I could make a strong argument for insight as well. I like seeing the smile on people's faces when I perform. That's all that matters. Insight would give you that, am I really making people happy? Are people being genuine with me? And a scandal prevents me from ever going home again. That kind of trouble seems to follow me around. That might be history. Do we know of something that happened in the past? Have we studied ways that maybe we want to go home, but we need to figure out, how the different houses work so that we can do some, 8-year-old political maneuvering. Maybe she's like she is because she wants a normal childhood. Yeah, if she was thrust into fantastic circumstances, including getting psychic powers, a lot of kids are like, oh, I wish I had superpowers. And here she is living with them. She's like, you want it? Take them. I haven't had a normal childhood. I don't get to steal pie off of windowsills. I don't get to go play down and get crawdads in the crick and scrape my knee. I don't get to do that. That's a very good point, Bubonic One. Yeah, the rival doesn't even have to be more powerful in that regard. The rival could just be living a normal freaking life. Anyway, so we have our congratulations, we're a human. Boop, 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 boop. Nice and easy, huh? We are going to get a feat, however. And now we're going to make a fighter. We're going to give her 18 levels of fighter, which is kind of different from 18 levels of fighter with a subclass. We're ignoring the subclass right now. We're going to come back to it. I want to make her a fighter first, psychic warrior second. By 18th level, our proficiency bonus is a +6. We are a D10 hit die class, and as we're 18th level, it just so happens we get 18 D10 hit die that we can spend when we rest to naturally recover our hit points without needing to worry about magic or potions. We're going to have proficiencies in all armor and shields, and all simple and martial weapons. No tool proficiencies for being a fighter. Our strength saving throw proficiency is going to be, our saving throw proficiency is going to be strength and constitution. Skills. Choose 2 skills from acrobatics, animal handling, athletics, history, insight, intimidation, perception, and survival. Well, you know, I didn't put in the one from being a human here, so we still have that one floating as well. I think because she loves reading people's emotions, I think insight is necessary. And I also think perception's going to be good for how she wants to collect rumors. And let's see. The skill that we could technically have be any skill, because this could be the floating one from her being a variant human. What is something that... You know what? Stealth would probably come to mind, because she is rather dexterous, but if she collects rumors and spreads gossip... Oh, you know what? Deception. Because of the costume kit, and probably to try and modulate her voice. You know, try and sound like an adult a little bit more, or dress up, or do things like that to try and pass herself off as somebody different. I think deception would be the way forward for her. You're lurking for the rest of the night, getting ready for bed. All right, after fall, thank you for letting me know, and thank you for being a part of the show again. It was great to see you. Ubonic One says, a rich rival can be even more powerful than a rival with powers. I mean, if wealth is a superpower, just look at, you know, Batman or Bruce Wayne or Tony Stark. All right, I'm not worried about the equipment. Starting equipment by level 18, it's whatever, right? It'll be improved, it'll be magical. Not worried about that at all. She's probably going to have a shield, but her armor class, who knows? It'll be whatever you want to give her. Yeah, Tony Stark or Iron Man even. Yeah, either of those work. Her fighting style she gets at level 1 is dueling. When you're wielding a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapons, you gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls with that weapon. So we already have that listed. She's also going to get a second wind, which is going to allow her to recover some hit points even in the middle of combat. She's going to get an action surge. And she's going to action surge... and starting at 17th level, so she can use it twice before a rest, but only once on the same turn. So she's going to get Action Surge 2 per rest. Have a great night, Van. Van, thank you for gifting those subs. That means a lot to me. And I'm sure for those who've won miniatures, it means a lot to them too. Thank you for joining us tonight. Our martial archetype, not worried about it just yet. We're gonna explore that separately. Ability score improvement. 4. It's normally 4, 8, 12, 16. Fighters. Oh, 6 and 14. Ooh, all right. So we're gonna be getting 6. That's pretty good. We're gonna have some pretty good stats. we're going to have an extra attack, which is also going to go up to 2 extra attacks. Extra attack times 2. And we are also indomitable. Beginning at 9th level, you can re-roll a saving throw that you fail. If you do so, you must use the new roll. Use this twice between long rests. Oh, we'd actually use this 3 times per long rests. There we go. Cool. So our capstone as a fighter is actually at level 9. And you know what? I put all these under archetype and they should have been under class. That's what Control X and Control V is for. Now let's explore. I'm not worried about the stats. She doesn't have stats yet, and that's fine. We don't want her to have stats right now. I want to know her conceptually. I want to know who she is, how she makes decisions, her lifestyle, okay? Daily, have a great night. Daily, do you want me to send your minis out real quick before you go? Or do you still want me to hang on to them? I am looking to try and ship out as many people's minis as possible, but I don't have to. And Devil, you sent the shipping info? Okay, thank you very much. I will give you a tracking number when I have one. Clean the space? All right, Daily. I'll send out your stuff tomorrow if at all possible. Maybe Friday, depending. Because I have my car's in the shop tomorrow. And I also have I have a dentist appointment in the afternoon, so it'll be a weird afternoon to try and get to the post office with some orders. But anyway, all right. Now let's explore the Psychic Warrior. Meow, I agree. Are you a Psychic Warrior? Meow. Oh, all right, that's cool. Oh, okay. Yeah, send me an update daily then, just to reconfirm, to make sure that I didn't mess something up. I presume you got your other packages. It's some routine stuff. It needs an oil change, and I'm also they're also going to take a look at the brakes, because I might need new brakes. And I'm also I'm down to one license plate bulb, so I bought some at AutoZone, and I also bought 2 daytime running lamps because both my daytime running lamps are burnt out. So they're going to replace those too while I have it in the shop using the parts I'm supplying. However, the car, it's not ancient. I'm not complaining about it. However, I'm definitely going to be needing a new car at some point because the one I have, it's been doing its job. It's doing it well, but it'll just be time to move on. All right, I got you, Daily. Yeah, just send an updated one. If nothing else, it'll put your address like really recent in the conversation. Okay, so Psychic Warrior, awakening to the psionic power within themselves. A Psychic Warrior is a fighter who augments their physical might with psychically infused weapon strikes, telekinetic lashes, and barriers of mental force. As a Psychic Warrior, you might have honed... Off the keyboard, ma'am. You might have honed your psionic abilities through your own disciplined practice, unlocked it under the tutelage of a master, or developed it at an academy dedicated to wielding the mind's power as both weapon and shield. So this is the fluff. Of course, if you want your Psychic Warrior to be different, it's your world. It's your game. Fluff it however you want, and don't forget, any Unearthed Arcana, beep, 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 is playtest content. This is not, it's published by D&D, it's not officially D&D, and they urge you to talk to your DM if you want to incorporate it into a game. And also, they take feedback. Go fill out surveys on their Unearthed Arcana stuff. Have your voice be heard. Alright, Psionic Armament. You can channel your psychic power to magically augment your prowess. When you finish a long rest, choose whether to augment your defenses or your strikes. The chosen benefit lasts until you finish a long rest. Augmented defenses. When you or a creature you can see within 30 feet of you takes damage, you can use your reaction to roll a d10 and reduce the amount of damage taken by the number rolled. When you reach 10th level in this class, the die changes to a d12. So we are going to have, psionic armament. Augmented defenses is going to be a d12, and augmented strikes are going to be d6s. Once, if we choose strikes, once during each of your turns when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can also deal 1d4 psychic damage to that target. When you reach 10th level in this class, the psychic damage increases to 1d6. So she can help or harm. You know, she's probably going to use augmented defenses, given her personality more. You can use your reaction to roll a d10 and reduce the amount of damage taken. You know, that could even be her. Maybe she's not good at cartwheels. Or again, she's not the best that she could be. But psychically, she can, like, send out a copy of herself to, like, roll in front of the ally. Boo! Taking part of the hit before it dissipates. Or it could be the power of her words. Again, she's a storyteller. She might... This could be coming from her imagination. She has such a powerful mind, a beautiful mind, that she can look over and she narrates what happens. The player in this instance could take what the DM narrates about the strike and adds but then, just as the sword was coming down for the blow, it caught the sun, temporarily blinding the wielder. And so the swing was more efficient. And so it's making her into this narrator of reality. And what little kid, let alone a little girl, wouldn't love to be a narrator of reality? Use substitute. There you go, Awaz. Stella says, I'm driving a 93 Chevy in sub-zero weather. I know how to keep those going well. Demon says, had a 97 Chevy Lumina that was a beast in Montana winters. Ooh, big sky country. Front wheel drive helps so much. Maddie's so good at making characters. It's incredible. I'm glad you're liking the process, Stella. Next is a telekinetic hand. You learn the Mage Hand cantrip. You can cast it without components, and you can make the spectral hand invisible. Intelligence is your spellcasting ability for this spell. So under cantrips, we're just going to put this under telekinetic hand and write Mage Hand. And I'm going to put a note that says special after there. And while we're doing this, I'm going to go to our spell page and bloop. There we go. Strength of Mind. As a bonus action, you can telekinetically lash out at a creature you can see within 20 feet of you. The target must make a strength saving throw against a DC equal to 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your intelligence modifier. On a failed save, the target takes force damage equal to 2d6 plus your intelligence modifier and is telekinetically moved 15 feet directly toward or away from you, your choice. On a successful save, it takes half as much damage and isn't moved. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So we're going to put strength of mind, which is going to be int/LR for a long rest. And when we know our intelligence, we'll fill it in. And this is as a bonus action, so we can get our attacks, right? We take the attack action here, and we attack. We get our extra attacks, and then we can, as a bonus action, I believe, I don't know if it was Bubonic saying that this was sort of like a Jedi build. You are getting, I guess, some Jedi-style powers, but it's a little bit of extra damage that doesn't have a lot of resistance to it, and it's battlefield movement. And at level 7, that's really good. I don't know if it's too good, but it's really good. You obviously love what you do. All you need is someone that knows what they're doing to make you a website for your store, or put yourself on eBay, but I'd go website route. I would too. I have an eBay, but I haven't used it in a while. Stella, I am my own biggest bottleneck. There's so much that this Twitch and that the store can be doing, and it's getting pinched through me and my time, my ability, finding people who can step up and help me in that regard. I'm my own worst bottleneck. That said, I sincerely appreciate the fact that you want to do business with me, and that you are saying these complimentary things that I want to know that I've earned them, and I fully believe that I have. But, you know, I'm the type of person who wants to earn your respect. I want to earn your business. I want to earn your follow, your like, or whatever, your subscription, your whatever. Ma'am? She's meowing because she wants to play fetch. Go get it. All right, Bubonic, sleep well. Telekinetic Bulwark. When you take the attack action, you can forego one of your attacks to project a bastion of psionic power within a 10-foot radius around yourself. It lasts for 1 minute or until you're incapacitated. For the duration, you and your allies in that area gain the benefits of half cover and have advantage on strength saving throws. Once, the other cat is in here now too. Once you use this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest or until after you use your second wind feature. An interesting timing. And, you know, I'm seeing a little bit of a cross with the Arcane Trickster and a Paladin so far, kind of sprinkled in here. Telekinetic Bulwark. Come on up. Hey, recommendations are one of the highest compliments that you can give someone. And so if you recommend me to others, Stella, that would be that'd be awesome. Hello, Servant. Welcome. You know, that icon is very good for the type of character that we're making. All right, Agonizing Strikes. This is our next subclass ability. Agonizing Strikes. Your attack can channel psychic energy, or energy, but agony. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can also deal 2d10 psychic damage to that target and force it to make a Constitution saving throw. And the math is there. The math is consistent. It's an int-based save. Unless the save succeeds, the target falls prone and it suffers disadvantage on ability checks until the end of your next turn. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So this is Agonizing Strikes, int per long rest. That's a really good ability too. And it seems like this is a very heavy int build, which you could imagine for psionics, it would, you know, dip into that. I love thinking, especially for the mage hand that can be invisible, all of this is simply her rewriting what she wants in the world, rewriting reality. She manifests the mage hand. She can turn it invisible. She does mischief with it. Maybe she just likes, whatever. She just wants to have a lazy day in bed. She has the mage hand go and grab her an apple and kind of hold it as she bites into it. If she's in trouble, you know, maybe people have tried to kidnap her before, if she's this kind of Anastasia princess or something. Or when trouble happens, she doesn't like it. And it's not that it's an emotional energy. She might very well be logical in her thinking, you know, but she says, get away from me or I'm going to hurt you. And suddenly the weapon she's holding is not just a weapon. It is an extension of her will. And she's a very willful woman. Well, young woman. Girl, whatever. She's 8. And lastly, Psychic Dreadnought. Again, maybe she wants to be strong. Maybe she wants to grow up. We'll see here. The power of your mind suffuses your entire being, making you a nigh unstoppable force for the battlefield. She's like Quailman for Doug. Wears the belt on the head, the underwear outside the shorts, has, I guess, her mage hand dressed up as like Quail Hand or something. The power of your mind suffuses your entire being, making you a nigh unstoppable force on the battlefield. Using your reaction when you take damage, you can give yourself the following benefits for 1 minute or until you're incapacitated. At the start of each of your turns, you regain 10 hit points. Ooh, especially as a fighter, that's pretty good. Your walking speed increases by 10 feet. And if you're prone, you can stand up by spending only 5 feet of movement. Kind of almost like that vampire, like, rise up out of the coffin thing, right? Once you activate this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. So once per day, effectively, we can be a Psychic Dreadnought. Once per long rest. Crashing to bed myself, Maddie. Can I roll you something to leave my mark on the next build? Sure. Hark, go ahead and roll a percentile and tell us if we're going to have, are we a boy or are we a girl? $62, we're going to make a male character. All right, Hark, that's where we're going to pick up our second character. The spice must flow. Hey, King, why roll when you can just ask Professor Oak? So she can turn into Quailman once per day here. And you know what? And this is epic level. Remember, in 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, epic level is 17 through 20. It's not beyond 20. I mean, you can go beyond 20 if you use supplemental rules or house rules. But your epic levels are 17, 18, 19, and 20. So we have this writer. You know, she's an aspiring writer. She's a storyteller. She writes poems. She has this conflict in the past that has sent her from home. You know, some kind of a scandal that prevents her from going home again. And you know what? And that scandal drives her to learn more about other people. Maybe if she learns the secrets, she can go back. Almost like a case closed, like what is it? Conan, who's the little kid in Case Closed, who's trying to get clues on that organization that turned him into a kid. Devil Lord, I didn't check. Did you send it through Discord? Yeah, Detective Conan from Case Closed, Kevin. Okay, I think I see the one that you're talking about, Devil Lord, and yes, I did get it. And, oh, good morning to you, Rianne. By the way, everyone, Rianne does some beautiful wood burnings. When she posts in our Discord, when she goes live, Make sure you stop in and say hi and check it out. She's friendly, she's conversational, and she does beautiful work. So she has certainly some fight to her. She's kind of like an Arya Stark, in a sense. Although she can use her mind, you know, what she wants from the world, she seems to manifest as this psychic warrior. In Dungeons & Dragons Online, it doesn't kick into Epic until after 20. And usually that's how it was in 3rd and 4th edition. In 4th edition, Epic levels were baked into the core system, where you had 21 through 30 as your Epic levels. Well, Rianne, they're not just kind, you've earned them. You absolutely have earned them. That clothespin idea for Christmas cards was brilliant. I loved it. Alright, so we know our character. We have the chassis of our character. It's beautiful, it's polished. Has a cool spoiler, even though it's a front-wheel drive car. Now it is time to drop the Hemi into it. And by that, we got to put an engine into her. The engine now is the math minigame that accompanies Dungeons & Dragons. For purposes of what we do, we use the standard array of 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, and 8. We're going to drop them here. We're going to add her human bonuses. And then on top of that, well, we're going to choose a feat for her. And then we're going to add her ability score improvements, where we get to add 2 numbers to 1 stat or 1 number to 2 stats every time we get one. And we have 6 of them. That's 12 points. Here, I'll represent that with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now it's looking like a World of Darkness sheet. In 8 strength, we could give her we could have her be a stat a fighter with a strength stat dump. High charisma. She is into performance and to deception. Well, with this one, King, she might grow up into it, being a fit character, who has she's going to have a very high intelligence, but as Palladian pointed out, this character we rolled is 8 years old. She's a child prodigy. You know, in 95%. Yeah, so Diadems rolled a 5, which put her at child prodigy. And so that was, and so the number we got was she's 8. No. The 8 wasn't from the, from this. It was, we rolled. Well, hey, I mean, if this is medieval Get-Ye Flask Europe, I mean, you couldn't drink the water. And so everyone, even kids, had beer. Oh, Shukan. It went through, although the raffle has ended. So I closed the raffle. So let me know how you want to spend that otherwise. Why didn't the notification go up? It does say a minute ago it did. Huh. Oh, well, Shukan, you wanted one of the Elder Brain sets, didn't you? If I'm going to ship your minis anyway, you could pick up one of those brain sets. Okay, King, no problem. And then for the other portion, you could pick up, let's see. You could pick up 2 boxes. Well, I guess that depends if you want Monster Menagerie 3 or if you want the normal boxes. But there's Volo and Mordenkainen's. There's Tomb of Annihilation. There's all the things that you saw for the raffle here. Ravnica, Avernus, Dragon Heist, Foes, Mad Mage, Tomb of Annihilation, and Monster Menagerie 1. Or there's also Monster Menagerie 3. Gotchas is fine too. So that would give you 8 gotchas. We can do 8 gotchas. So you want a brain and 8 gotchas. I gotcha. We're almost finished with this character, and so I'll pull those for you when we finish her up. Alright, for sure she's an intelligent woman. She's a writer. She's a poet. Her mind is fueling these powers. I think it's fine giving her the 15 here and that floating 1 that she gets for being a human. After that, maybe she is... Well, she is a dueler. Yeah, I think she'd be more of a dex fighter than a strength fighter. And maybe we can even move the 1 to dexterity. And give her a 14 in dexterity. She's very limber. She took dancing lessons. Ma'am. Thank you. That's why the towel's there, to keep her from tearing up the leather. As much as it can, anyway. If we want to make her well-rounded, we can actually give her a lower con and strength. And so let's give her a high charisma. Let's give her a 13 charisma. Let's give her a 12 wisdom. Let's give her a 10 constitution. And let's give her an 8 strength. Adding in the human factor, we could go, or that gives us dexterity of 15 and intelligence of 16. I have a question for chat. Why do I see whispers go up in number, but I don't see any new messages when I look for them? I don't know. Twitch, sometimes Twitch whispers can be derpy. I guess if you have multiple windows open or something. I wish I had a solid answer for you, though, Stella. Yeah, arugula salad. Let's lean into the fact that she is an 8-year-old girl. And you know what? This is most certainly not an optimal build for a fighter. I'll tell you what, though, I would absolutely play this character. And I would play it well. I would make decisions. I would play into the fact that she is this, you know, kind of a, not really a runaway per se, but, you know, she is this girl with this past. She's a part of the world. You know, she's not going to be a classic fighter. People are going to look at her and look at how scrawny she is. Oh, you have 10 minutes left on break? Alright. Then Shukan, what we're gonna do is this. I'll stir, I'll count to 10 pull, and I'll do that 8 times for you, okay? Because that'll be the 40 on top of the 50 for the brain set. Platian, you've never fought an 8-year-old? Have you not played Pokemon? They'll just give you their lunch money if you beat them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, hang on. One tried to escape. I gotta grab another. Ah, come here. There we go. 8, 9, 10. That's 4 pulls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more, gotcha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Got to make this quick for Shukan, who's coming off a break. And so I'm going to show off your pre-painted figures here first, Shukan. That way you're getting them in succession. And we're being efficient with your time. You have an Icons... is this? Yeah. Icons of the Realm Starter Gold Dwarf Cleric. An Icons of the Realm Starter Gold Dwarf Cleric. You have a Githyanki Warrior. Speaking of Psychic Warriors. You have a Githyanki Warrior. And you have an Icons of the Realm Starter Wood Elf Druid, who has active camo going right now because of the green screen. You have 2 unpainted miniatures, and the unpainted minis you have are a male Dragonborn Paladin, a male Dragonborn Paladin, and by the way, Stella, these are the pre-painted ones I was talking about. Or, I'm sorry, pre-primed. Unpainted, pre-primed, so they're ready to paint right out of the box. And you have a female dwarf wizard who's getting ready to dab. A female dwarf wizard. Ah, wizard down. It's okay. She cast Featherfall. All right, this means that you have 3 pieces of paper, Shukan. 3 pieces of paper in your capsules. Yeah, she dabbles in magic. Shush you, Stella. Shush. Oh, cat, come on. What are you doing? All right, we have a premium female tiefling. Yeah, the focus is a little off. What is a premium female tiefling? Well, that is... Where are you? It is a pre-painted figure. That is a tiefling sorcerer. She's pre-painted, has some pearlescent paint on her. Hi, Hypnotic. You also have a premium elf druid, Hypnotic. And the premium elf druid is this figure here. Well, it wants to focus on the Illithid. There we go. And your last... Stop it. That's not for you. Keep my vitamins and stuff sorted. Because I got... by the way, everyone out there... Are you taking vitamin D supplements? Depending on where you live and your lifestyle, I'm not a doctor, but I'll tell you, vitamin D supplements are good. And lastly, you have a dice set. You have 12d6 blue with white. And that dice set looks like this. Yeah, it's a very good blue. And also, howdy, Derek. Good to see you. How did all right, Derek? How's the vampire game going? Are they hitting it with the raffle? The raffle. You just mentioned raffle. Are they hitting it with the lore, the introduction to the world of darkness? Would you recommend the Coteries of New York for people who are curious about vampire? Yes, that was all 8, Shukan. You got the dice, 2 premium figures, so that's 3. You got 2 unpainted figures and 3 pre-painted figures. That was all 8. I'm going to bring up Chapter 6 real quick to look for feats for her. And you'll have your Illithid Elder Brain and Pool thrown into your mix. You want that shipped out as soon as possible, right, Shukan? You know, I'm kind of thinking that Keen Mind would play into this. Because she is very cerebral. Oh, is it randomly assigned to you? So you actually have to play through and try different things. Back to work. All right, Shukan, you have a wonderful day anytime, so it arrives before Christmas. All right, well, it should be going out then by Friday. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day with car maintenance and a dentist appointment. Sure. All right, so Hypnotic, we're almost done with this character. So if you want 2 gotchas, I will pull that for you with $1 from the community mini pool in just a couple minutes here. Oh, gotcha. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Derek. I wish that I was able to sit down and watch you go through it and get your commentary and ask you questions when you're live with it. But if I have any, I'll be sure to pass them along in your Discord. Which, by the way, if anyone has questions about World of Darkness, in particular vampire, but not restricted to it, or horror or art in general, Derek is a very good source. Is a very good source for information. Derek also broadcasts Vampire on Sunday and has his drawing channel, Drawing on the Macabre, on Mondays. And if you want some character art, you want some cool stuff, including, by the way, this title screen, Derek did that. Derek, I still need to put the touch-ups on there, but this is certainly showing off your handiwork, and I absolutely love it. So Keen Mind could work. Linguist could also work, especially because you can only create, you can ably create written ciphers. Others can't decipher your code unless you teach them, and she is a writer, so I think Linguist would work out well too. You know, if she's traveled the lands with a traveling band or something, she's probably picked up some languages. You know what? I like Linguist. Let's give her Linguist. This is going to give her 3 more, so we're actually going to have 4 other languages and common, including then this cipher, and we can also increase her intelligence by 1. So now that we have this, we can put our 12 points. Again, I said this is looking like a vampire sheet here. Well, I think she's a super smart cookie. Let's use up 3 of those points to max out her intelligence. Now, if we want to bring her dexterity up, that'll take up 5 points because there's a natural cap at 20. So let's do that and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This leaves 3 points behind. 4 points behind, I'm sorry. If we bump up Charisma to 14, that's going to take care of 1. And I think that we should probably bring her Wisdom up also. And that's going to use 2. And now we're stuck with 1 dot. Now, if this is World of Darkness, if you have 1 dot in something, that actually that's good. Means you can actually do something, or you're starting to get options. In D&D 5th edition, if you're ever floating 1 spare dot, well, there's feats that can add 1 to something. You could combo it. For purposes of what we're doing here, if you put that 1 point into your strength score will give you a mechanical benefit, not just the mod. She can now push, pull, carry, lift, drag, etc. a little bit more than she could with an 8. Okay. So now this is a strength at -1, dex 5, so I guess she does do her stretches, intelligence 5, constitution 0, wisdom 2, charisma 2. This is going to give her a strength saving throw of 5 and an athletics of -1. Dexterity saving throw, sleight of hand, and stealth at 5, acrobatics at 11 because she's proficient. A constitution saving throw of 6. 5 down the way for all her intelligence, and 2 down the way for wisdom, except insight, which is 8, perception, which is 8. And for charisma, it's 2 down the line, except deception and performance, which is 8 and 8. We come back up here. Her passive perception is going to be 18, because that is 10 plus her perception modifier. If you use passives in your game, you're going to save yourself a lot of headaches, a lot of dice roll. It's amazing. Passive insight, even passive investigation. And honestly, there's a lot of things that just a passive arcana. You just know so much that, you know, if you come across something, you can just automatically detect it. The passive system is wonderful, and you should consider it. Passive perception is what is arguably the most invoked, and so that's why it has its special spot. Initiative is simply a dex check, so we have a +5 initiative. Now it's time for her current hit points. Her current hit points are going to be 10 at level 1 because she is a D10 hit die class. The remaining 17 levels of her 18, because we already took care of her first level, she gets half +1 of her hit die. Half of 10 is 5, +1 is 6. You might have a DM that says roll your hit die for hit points, and maybe you do. Maybe you're lucky and get all 10s. Maybe you're unlucky and get all 1s and 2s. That's why I favor half +1. And for all 18 of her levels, she gets bonus hit points equal to her constitution modifier, and that's easy math because it's 0. So this falls off. 17 times 6 is 102. And plus 10, she's 112 hit points at level 18. Again, we don't know her armor class because she's level 18. She's not going to have her starting gear. So, you know, leaving that a mystery, I'm not too worried about that as raw data. If she's attacking with a strength-based weapon, whatever it is, again, because I don't know what she's attacking with, -1 +6, so she gets to swing or throw strength weapons at a +5. Dexterity weapons is going to be at a +11. And if she's dueling, her dueling style is going to give her an additional +2 damage if she has one weapon in one hand and no weapons in another hand. But a shield can work as well. No spell slots. However, she does get kind of a spell save versus her psionic effects, which was intelligence plus proficiency. So that's 11 plus 8 is 19. Ta-da. And, ladies and gentlemen, we have a complete character. A child prodigy. Something happened to her family where she was forced to leave, to learn how to perform out on the road to hide herself from whatever happened in her past. She reads, she writes poems, she tells stories, and the stories come to life from her mind, granting her these psionic augments, the telekinetic bulwark, the agonizing strikes. Which is fine because a child wants to survive in the world. She wants to try and be an adult. She wants to work with them, even though they all call her kid. She has a bully or a rival. And so she is growing up. Ultimately, she just wants to make people happy. Even though her mere presence seems to always cause trouble. And to grow up in that lifestyle with fantastic gifts that people might not even believe you have. It's very compelling. And so, everyone, she has earned a name. She's no longer a pile of stats. And if you have recommendations for what you'd like to name her, I'm willing to take those suggestions in chat. Before that, or during that, we did roll a trinket she received from an admirer. Is the admirer the rival? Was it her parents, who may or may not still be alive? Was it from someone like a childhood friend that kind of, will you go out with me, yes or no? The first possible boyfriend or something like that. Like another, if she's been traveling with like a gypsy caravan or something. One of the boys who's native to the wagons might take a shining to her. And the token that she got, which could very well be a part of who she is and how she makes decisions, was number 46. She received a dead sprite inside a clear glass bottle. A dead sprite inside a clear glass bottle. What does this sprite mean? Is that connected? Is that a part of the scandal that happened in her past? Is it something that is a legacy item that is odd, but it was something that her family had to get out before the peasant revolution, if that's what happened? Or it had to get out before the fire consumed their house, including her parents and siblings and dog or whatever? Is the sprite maybe not really dead? Is the sprite what has helped awaken her mind to the fact another world exists, acting in a sense almost like a spell focus, even though she doesn't cast spells? Alright, a couple names that I'm seeing here. This is Eliza Cordova, Mercy, Tracy Pastrini. A forgotten gift that died because the inattentive parents didn't give it to her on time. Oh. Now, Demon, though, is... So, the pixie looks dead. Is the pixie actually dead? Or is it faking? Awaz says Remy. Stella, you have to call it a night as well. It's been fun. I learned quite a bit. I'd like to order some figurines and that coloring book. I sent you a whisper. I'll have really no other way to contact you, so let's figure it out for your chat. You all have a good night. All right, I'll get back to you through Twitch, Stella. And I'm glad you like the character creation process. Arugula Salad says that seems more like a weird father figure sort of item to have. Like that one person who showed her the ropes when she was out on her own, gives her something she thinks is cool. Yeah, it could even just be, you know what? I'm gonna treat you like an adult. You figure this out. I'm gonna give you this gift. This is not a kid's gift. You want to be an adult? You figure this out. I like it, Arugula. All right, so we have some name suggestions. All right, I got to get up and take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to make one more. We're going to make one more Psychic Warrior for the night. So hang in there, everyone.